to my channel. So you guys heard it here first when I first reported that Lindsey and Blaine had broke up about a month ago, and we finally got the confirmation in last night's episode that they're no longer together. And a few people have been asking Lindsey various questions on her Instagram comments. Lindsey posted a clip from last night's episode where she asked Blaine to leave, and someone said, "You handled that well. Did he give you the necklace back?" And she said, "No, he did not. He refused to return it." And someone else said, "Mind your business, girl. She cheated on him. He big mad." And Lindsey responded and she said, "I did not cheat on Blaine. Nope, I'm not going to play like I did." Someone else said, "I watched a YouTube video of her kissing the married dude and she was very much with Blaine. She's a narcissist and she thinks her own crap don't stink." And she didn't respond to that comment, but someone else said, "So are y'all together? I'm confused." And Lindsey said, "We are not together. However, we are working on things. As of now, Blaine is not allowed to live with me per probation." Someone else commented, "Did you cheat on Blaine?" And Lindsey said, 2 years ago, a guy at a bar kept wrapping me up in a huge bear hugs and trying to kiss me. He was extremely drunk and alternated between that and crying. His wife apologized and ran interception. I did not cheat on Blaine." Laughing my butt off. And someone said, "So you saying the video of you making out with the guy isn't you? Come on." And then Lindsey said, "You saw a piece of the video. Where's the end?" But in this piece of video I see her leaning in. And if this guy is just like grabbing you, trying to pull you in, then you push him away. You're leaning into that, not away from that. Someone else said, "Don't know, but the piece of the video is you guys kissing." And Lindsey said, "Yeah, me and every other girl at the bar. He was extremely drunk and I'd push him off and he'd come back. My friend ran interference for me after I texted to save our ship." And someone was like, "Girl, in the piece we saw you were kissing back. Just admitted that you cheated and move on. Blaine deserves better than a liar." And then Lindsey responded. She said, "What you want, I literally don't care. LOL, but no other man. Oh, get real." The last part was in response to this one girl saying, "No other man has wanted to continue anything with you except Blaine." And then someone else said, "Any chance of getting back together?" And she said, "I don't know, honestly." Then someone else said, "You got a lot of maturing to do and you need to get that flying off the handle under control. You both could do better." And someone responded defending Lindsey and pretty much saying, "Look, he bought a four-wheeler instead of a ring for her when they were planning on marrying. He was a man-child." And then Blaine actually slid in the comments, and this is what he had to say. He said, "Y'all can go on with this BS. Think what you like." And I was trying to look on his social media and see if he was like responding to comments or really speaking more in the situation, and this is all I could find from him recently. Someone else said, "Girls, so long as you aren't with that hair lip dude from first season we met you with, then it's all good." And then Lindsey said, "Yes, me and Scott together is a hard no, oil and water." And someone's like, "I always thought you were miles ahead of him." And Lindsey said, "I fell in love with what Scott did for me, aka the $20,000 he sent her in the few years they were together." And she said, "In the picture he painted of what my life could be like when I came home. But our personalities clash. Scott really needs a submissive woman, and that I am not." And you guys remember when she came home to Scott's house and it wasn't fully finished? She was extremely ungrateful, saying, "Oh, I thought I was coming home to Disney World. Instead I get the county fair." And she was acting like she was too good for Scott's place. But like the trailer we saw her in last season, she didn't have the same energy towards that when she was in a place that was nothing like Scott's. It just seems like she's unappreciative no matter what kind of situation she's in almost. Are you in need of cleaning services and do you live in the Kansas City metro area? Then go hit up Cleaning Maids In and Out and tell them Amber sent them your way. They offer residential and commercial cleaning services and they'll have your place looking good as new. They do residential cleaning in your apartment and homes, and not only that, they offer commercial cleaning for businesses, Airbnbs, and rentals, and they even offer post-construction cleanup to remove dirt and debris. I've been using them for over 2 years now, and I have nothing but good things to say about them. So if you're interested in a top-tier cleaning service, then hit up Cleaning Maids In and Out. Their number is 816-659-2929, and don't forget to let them know that Amber sent them your way. Now I want to talk about Lindsey and Blaine in the season finale. So Lindsey told Blaine that he needed to pack his bags and move out because her probation officer said that he's no longer allowed to live with her since he has a medical marijuana card. And then we see Blaine pack his bags, and Lindsey said, "What did I do to you? That was so bad." And Blaine was like, "How about you running off with the effing married man?" When Lindsey heard him say that, you could tell she was freaking out because she just shut up real quick. She didn't want to push the subject anymore and have him expose her more than he already had. And she definitely didn't want to unpack that. She just sat there on the couch with her arms crossed. Blaine grabbed some of his belongings, he walked out the door, and then he rode off into the night on his four-wheeler. And the producers asked Lindsey, "Why is he accusing you of cheating?" And you could read it all over her body language that she was just lying through her teeth. She was trying her hardest to keep her face straight and try to brush it over as much as possible, just be so nonchalant. And I wish the producers would have asked Blaine to touch more on that question because he's the one who brought it up. See, if what Blaine said about her running off with the married man wasn't true, then if I was in Lindsey's position, I'd be like, "What are you talking about? What married man? You're lying." But she didn't even say none of that because she knew he was right. So she just shut up. And even Blaine said he didn't want to talk about it anymore because he said he didn't want to say too much. So you could tell he was holding himself back from saying what he really wanted to say. Blaine told the producers in a confessional that he's stupid for staying with Lindsey as long as he did, especially with her facing 40 years. And he said that Lindsey is nothing but a lying, manipulative con artist. And he pretty much called her every name in the book, including the C word. Honestly, though, this feels like this is Blaine's karma for taking Lindsey from Deontay. He should have known she was for the streets when she was willing to cheat on Deontay so easily. And no wonder Blaine has so much pent-up anger because Lindsey isn't willing to be upfront and honest with him about the cheating and give him the proper closure he deserves. Here she is lying and acting like, "Oh, he just pulled me in for a bear hug," like she's telling people on the internet. Blaine said he deserves to be with someone who appreciates him and respects him. And I don't think Lindsey's that person, or Kayla, because we just found out as Kiki and Kivitz exposed that he was in Kayla, Kevin's ex, DMs this past few weeks, trying to hit her up and responding to her stories. And I think she's going to be just as bad as Lindsey because they may get along, but as soon as he pisses her off, she's going to be calling him a mother effer and every name in the book and stalking him and doing all the crazy shenanigans like she did with Kevin. Lindsey told the producers that she does love Blaine, she just does not know what to do. And then at the end we got an update and it said that Lindsey and Blaine are no longer together and they have not spoke since they broke up on the show. And Lindsey's currently living in her house with Miley Grace, and Blaine moved in with a friend, and him and his son is living with his friend. When Blaine finally got all his stuff together and rode off into the dark with his four-wheeler, I was just waiting for Deontay to pop out of the bushes like he did at Nicole and Tia's wedding. I hope this is the last we see of Lindsey. I feel like her story has hit its expiration date, honestly. And I really don't care who she gets with after this, but I have no interest in seeing it anymore. And someone on Instagram was saying to Lindsey, like, "Wow, I can't believe he got so crazy." And Lindsey said, "Well, you guys haven't seen us fight before." And it sounded like she was implying that he gets like that every single time they fight. And I feel like her giving him a necklace and acting like she wanted to marry him super fast, I feel like that was just for a storyline. I don't think Lindsey had any real intentions on marrying that man. I was predicting that Lindsey would probably try to get back with Blaine because the show says they haven't talked since they broke up, but they've talked at least and hung out a few times this past month. He came over to her house one day and they were riding around on his four-wheeler, and then there's another day he showed up and he brought her some Monster. And right now they're filming for the next season of Life After Lockup. I know at least a couples that are currently filming, and they're probably about to start filming with the rest of the couples. And I could see Lindsey trying to make her way back to Blaine to try to get him in for another season. Like, Valentine's Day is coming up, and that'd be a perfect opportunity for her to try to get him back. But remember when I first reported that Blaine and Lindsey had broke up, the person who told me about it told me that Lindsey had told them that she had tried to get Blaine to come back for another season, and he said since they broke up, he wasn't doing it. He wasn't about to be faking like they're still together, and he didn't want anything to do with the show if they were no longer together. So I was gonna predict that she would try to get back with him, but I just looked at Blaine's Instagram and saw a few comments, and it looks like, well, how it sounds right now, that they are not in any rush to get back together because they still have a lot of hard feelings towards each other. Blaine posted a clip where he was arguing with Lindsey in the season finale, and he says, "Hope everyone is more ready to find this out than I was. Is she wanting me to be her husband, or is she wanting the husband?" And then he did hashtag let me find out, hashtag did me bad, hashtag where's the loyalty, hashtag lies and deceit. And Lindsey said, "Really?" I don't know how I missed these comments when I was looking for comments at the beginning of my video, but I'm glad I went back and checked. And Blaine responded, he said, "That's exactly what I was thinking when Lindsey said WTF. And someone said, y'all the most entertaining couple on the show. What's it like having the world see everything? It's got to be strange, eh?" And Blaine said, "It's not my favorite thing to do." And then this dude said, "Hopefully they pay you guys a lot for this, but it takes some courage to do what you do." And Blaine says, "Not enough for what I have to put up with." Then someone else said, "She does not love you. You deserve better, Blaine. She's with you for her own benefits." And Blaine said, "If only you knew." And someone else said, "Apparently you're looking for another fight." And Blaine said, "Hell, I done got used to it. It ain't nothing but a thing nowadays." Then Lindsey said, "WTF does that mean exactly?" And then Lindsey said, "It sure ain't gotta be a thing nowadays." And then Blaine just put like these praising hands. And so it looks like they probably are not going to be getting together anytime soon with the way they're interacting with each other currently. And another thing is, a follower sent me this post of Lindsey's, and this is from about a week or two ago. She posted all these before and afters of her house because she's currently in the process of renovating her house, which good for her. That's awesome. But it makes me wonder, like, what is up with this whole $20,000 that you had to pay your lawyer's storyline, that you're acting that you had to have such a sense of urgency to the point that you had to go and act like you're attempting to collect year-old drug debts just to come up with money for your lawyer. I think that the lawyer, what he said about, oh, you got to come up with this money now, I feel like that's exaggerated, especially when you've been working with this lawyer for a while over the years. Most lawyers will take payments, and they're not going to be like, okay, you have to come up with $20K tomorrow, otherwise you're gonna go to jail. Like, I had to pay $25K to get out of my drug charges, and I paid that within a span of 4 to 5 years. And I think they're just being over dramatic, and I feel like if this was really the case, then why is she dropping all this money on renovations if she has to come up with this money so quickly? And even people in the comments were questioning it. Someone commented and said, "I guess your charges were a lie since you're getting renovations and not paying your lawyer." And they said they wish reality TV shows would be more truthful. And Lindsey responded and she said, "All my charges are still pending." Then Lindsey said, "My lawyer had pushed it back to create as much time between the charge and the court date to see long-term changes." So she knew that from the jump. So they're just being over dramatic about the sense of urgency when it comes to paying her lawyer. And just like she's saying, of course, they're going to push it back as long as possible, because the more time between her charges, that's going to be more time she can say she's been sober for. And she can achieve more things, and that is going to make her look better when her lawyer presents her case to the judge, to the point where they'll probably just end up putting her on some kind of long-term probation. That's what I'm assuming is probably going to happen from these charges she has pending. I highly doubt she's going to go back to prison unless she completely falls off the wagon and just starts doing really bad again, like how she was towards the end of Scott before she went back to prison. Hell, maybe she can hire Chance to help do some renovations around her house. And I saw someone say that Sarah and Sean need to hire Chance to do renovations for their new place. I mean, if they want their place to look as crazy as Taylor's place was looking, I think Taylor's starting to get her place back slowly but surely. It's sure going to take a long time to undo all the damage that he did, but I saw that she's got her daughter's rooms looking back to normal and finally got them normal beds instead of that monstrosity safety hazard that Chance put in there before. But that's it for this video, guys. Remember, you guys heard it here first that Lindsey and Blaine broke up over a month ago before we found out on this show. And if you want more real-time updates, then subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Check out Cleaning Mates In and Out if you're from the Kansas City metro area. I'll leave all the information in the description. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.